All right, y'all. It's your boy Brian Forbes. I'm back. I'm back again. Y'all, tonight is going to be a very special night because we got a real interesting interview coming up, and y'all are going to love this. For my YouTube family, y'all don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I need you to hit that. I need them numbers, y'all. Y'all gotta help. We gotta get these numbers up so we can get this thing monetized, get this money, y'all, so we keep this show alive. In the meantime and in between time, I want to welcome everybody back. Thank you for showing up and showing out. My Inside Steppin family. Tonight, y'all, we're gonna talk to one of the young heads in the stepping game, talking to an old head in the stepping game, and we're going to see if we can't have a meeting of the minds, y'all. And I think this is something that's critically important in this stepping world, and so we're going to talk about it tonight, y'all. So y'all stay tuned. Don't forget to share this thing on Facebook. Don't forget to hit the like buttons, y'all. And with that said, hey, Sandy Paris, thank you for stopping by and checking in. With that said right there, y'all, let me introduce to you none other than my main man, Mr. Sam Long. Wait a minute, let me give you some applause, Sam. There you go. Hey, you gotta hit that
Yeah,
applause
yeah.
button.
What's up? What's up?
Sam Long, man, look,
Yeah, yeah. We here. What's up?
man, look. Hey, it's good to have you on, brother. Vonda Powell, thank you for checking in. Look at here. I'm gonna tell you, it's funny because my wife just said to me a minute ago, producer lady, she say, does he remember us? Does he remember meeting us at,
Of
at, at, at
course,
Black and Bling? I said, yeah, he know who we are. I said, I
of
said,
course.
I said, yeah, Sam know who we are. He know. Uh,
Yeah, I did.
and
I
it's
seen your
funny,
wife first. I hopped out the
right?
van. I had a fresh Prince of Bel Air moment. Ah, I'm here, and your wife was out there. I'm like, I
Yeah,
just got to going into talking to everybody, y'all. And then I met you later on that night.
right. Yeah, because she told me,
Yeah,
and that now I want you to know that was the very thing though that stood out to both of us about you, man, was your enthusiasm, man. We loved your enthusiasm, bro. You was like
yeah,
geeked. We we was in Dallas, y'all, at
yeah,
Black and Bling. My
yeah.
man
What's
came
up?
out. He came straight out the gate like, man, I'm here. I'm ready to get it in. And my
We
wife
about
was
to
like,
dance
wow.
all night.
And the first thing she said to me was like, man, we need more men like that in this dance.
Yeah,
Sam, are you
yeah. I
bringing are
feel
you
it.
bringing the fellas along, man?
Man, it's hard getting guys to come in to get them to dedicate it. We physical beings. If we don't see something we don't like, if we can't get it out the microwave, sometimes I
Yeah.
do it because I love it and I love to do it. So I try to get my guys, but it's hard getting them together.
Now let me ask you this, since I like how you put that, like getting it out the microwave. So do you think that's and the reason I'm asking is because I know even in the older generations we still struggle as well. Do you think that's a male trait or a youth trait?
Well, society has brought that up upon us. Like, we don't even order food the way we don't even
Man,
have to go home.
yeah,
We can
yeah.
go home, food be at the door. We don't have to go grocery shopping. It's a society trait,
Microwave
because
society, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not gender based. It's just
Dig
a
that.
society that we live in, and it's just we want things right now. If it's not right now, our attention spans are less than. Why you think commercials are 30 seconds? And
Right?
we got stories and reels to grab the attention spans real quick, real quick. So
Ain't that something?
I feel like, yeah, as you get older, I think maybe you'll be able to slow down and say, hey, I might want to do something. But traditionally, people just like what they like and they stuck in their ways sometimes.
Now, it's interesting you say that because I remember when I met you, you made a comment or a statement and you said how when you first came into this dance, you was real anxious to have it and you just wanted it right then. But you
Hmm.
realized that you had to back up and slow down and take your time and get the
Yeah,
dance and
yeah.
obviously go ahead.
No, that's a natural thing because I was watching all y'all. I was sitting back watching the style, the vibe, the energy. It was enticing. And you like, man, I want that. I want to do it now. I'm like, and I ain't got time to wait. And that's how I was feeling. Like I wanna do it, but I dedicated myself to learning. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I went to every class. If anybody said they did any type of dance, then I went. I talked. I asked Lolita Beauty. Um, who else was it? Mo from Cleveland. I talked to people. I introduced myself. Hey,
Okay.
how did you do that? If I seen you do something, I was stopping and talking to you. Hey, can
Dig
you
that.
show me that again? And I was just like, man, I was just eager to learn it.
So
And
you had a lot of people that basically, you know what I'm saying, embraced you in the dance. Who was your first instructor?
Mo, his
Okay.
name is Mo. We call him Mo. What is his name? We call him Mo Keys. He's out of Cleveland. One day, my friend
Okay.
told me about this. They were stepping inside of a bar. And I was like, hey, I want to learn how to dance or whatever, whatnot. And so my cousin said, hey, go down to this bar. I think you might want to, learn. I
Dig that.
walked in there and they had a Saturday afternoon class going. And I was like, I walked in there like, hey, I want to learn how to dance in front of everybody. There was
That's
about
funny.
15 people in there. I'm like,
I
what's
bet
up? I'm
they was
trying to
like, "Come
dance.
on."
They were like, okay, I'm young. They was like, who is this young dude? And
Right. They didn't take you seriously at first.
no, they was, you know what? To be honest with you, my first original Steppin family, man, they opened the doors with loving arms.
That's what's up.
They
You know,
they showed me
I
the
gotta get to
basics.
Cleveland, man. I gotta come there anyway, man. I gotta come visit my family. You know, I got family in Cleveland.
You do?
You heard? Yeah. You ever heard of the Forbes?
You told me that, and you was kind of telling me that a little bit.
Yeah. You know
So you got to
George
educate me
Forbes,
on that.
Mimi Forbes, them my people, man. That
Okay.
okay. George Forbes used to be the head of the city council many
Okay.
years ago. Anybody that's older that know anything about the politics of that city know my family.
Okay. Okay. That was
And
dope.
yeah, I gotta come. I gotta come. I gotta come hang out with my people, man. I put it like this: if you want to know who my uncle is, go on YouTube and type in George Forbes, and you'll see a interview that he did with a news reporter where he threatened to kick his ass for not paying the water bill. That's my uncle. People wonder why I cuss so much. You just tell them I came bad honestly. You dig? but
Oh,
but
oh, snap.
so look, man. So all together, how long you been stepping now,
I think this like my third year, third 3.5
man?
with COVID.
Man, I love your energy, bro. Your shit is phenomenal. You know, that was one of the things when I first met you, man. I felt like, damn, this cat is electric. He got electricity running through him, man. This dude is
Man,
about this dance. I loved your
it's
energy, man.
it's a vibe, man. I've been through a lot, and then when you find out who you are, where you come from, where you're going, and you have knowledge of self and where you're going, and wisdom,
Man,
knowledge, and understanding.
woo, speak
It's just
that.
like I'm the vibe. Anywhere I
Speak
go,
that.
we all electric. We all have energy inside of us. Now, how you know, it's like how I feel on the inside is what y'all see on the outside.
Man, that's what's up, bro. That's
So
definitely what's up.
yeah, you
Uh,
got having love of self.
Man, that's a beautiful thing, man. Now, you participated in the world's largest, didn't
Yeah, I did. I sure did. Beginners category
you? Yeah,
with
that's
my
what's
partner
up.
Jamie Anderson.
Okay, okay.
hmm
And how did you fare?
I think, to be honest with you, I'm the most critical person of myself. Um,
Introspection is always best. Go ahead.
yeah, self-reflection, self-reflecting. I think I wish I would have put a little more practice and work ethic into it. I think I didn't understand the logistics of how to go about making this thing happen between me and my partner. So, you getting off work, she getting off work, you got to spend that time. You competing
Yeah.
against
Yep. Yep.
people that are dancing every day,
Yep.
all day. So,
Religiously.
religiously, this is a competition, it's a sport.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have put more practice into it. But the
So
experience was phenomenal.
right, and you know what? And the beauty in that experience is that nobody can ever take that from you. You got that under your belt now, and you know what to expect on the next go round. How old are you, Sam?
Absolutely. I'll be 35 in July.
35. Now,
Yeah.
one of the main reasons I asked you that is because I'm listening to you talk about your experience in the world's largest and having that opportunity and realizing after the fact what you should have been doing or what you may have done differently, which I think is a phenomenal. But I think, and this is where us older people in this dance have to start to embrace the younger generation because we are not going to be here forever, and y'all have to carry that torch. And you and I had a
Absolutely.
conversation about this,
Oh yeah.
and one of the things that I think we all could use is more connection. You know, more connectivity between the old and the young in the dance. One of the things that I think, and I don't know, I get a little sometimes disappointed when I listen to some of the older people in the dance and how rigid they are in the way they operate within the dance. And I would like to see, and you and I discussed this previously, the
Hmm.
gap bridged in the way that we can all cohabitate and coexist and not point fingers at one another in the dance. Tell me
Right.
how you feel about that and what your experiences have been.
Well, I feel like naturally, I feel like, it's always been something against us, divide and conquer, Willie Lynch vibe. So even outside of dancing, you have this thing where you have to bridge the gap between the young and the old, between who's new and who's been on the scene, and like how do we bridge that gap. But I feel like we have to have effective communication skills, progressive talks, embracing each other, not looking at each other as competition. We are competition because we do sharpen arms, but
Right.
looking at it to where we have to be like, okay, hey, this young brother or this young sister, she wants to dance, and just being able to talk, because if we don't talk with one another, we don't know, we assume, we leave the door open from, okay, I think this way or feel this way, and we might, create these stereotypes and perspectives of one another when we don't reach out, and we don't come with love. You got to come with love and good energy. If you don't come with love and good energy, we'll never bridge no gaps. If it's like you young people don't know what y'all doing, it's just like, okay, well, time out. You lost me from the beginning right there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And young people got to do a better job of, me myself included, receiving corrective criticism
Right.
and not being offended when somebody of the older ilk say, "Hey, man, you might want to get this feel." You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
might want to do it like this, and then vice versa. We just got to put work in so we don't be offending each other or
Well,
hating on each other. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can say this. If more of the younger people coming into the dance, or even not necessarily the younger people, but the newer people coming into the dance were able to um, uh, uh, receive information, sometimes it will benefit us
Yeah.
all. The other
Hmm.
side of that coin, though, in your own defense, is that too many times, and I find that too many times a lot of the older people have the tendency to criticize even one another in their peer group. I listen to some
Yeah.
of these old cats. He can't dance, she can't dance, and you be thinking, well, damn, they've been doing this shit long as you have, and they still be criticizing each other. And then maybe I don't know, maybe that's an ego thing or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah.
so a lot of that, I personally, on your tip, I wouldn't necessarily take it too personal. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
ones that's
Yeah.
willing to help, you know what I'm saying, take that
Hmm.
advice. But be wary. I tell everybody in this dance, this especially the newer crowd, be wary of where you get your information, because there's a lot of people out here with a lot of misinformation and a lot of
See, and speaking of
create a lot of
misinformation,
confusion.
yeah, confusing. See, to be honest with you, man, from a younger perspective, man, there are a lot of cool older heads or elder statesmen out there who not really own that type of energy. Like sometimes people will create a narrative to make it to be something like, oh, somebody hating on me. Man, there's a lot
Yeah,
of older people that love the younger generation. There's a lot of younger
I'm one
generation
of
that
them.
love. Yeah, so everybody is not hating on each other. Like you gotta just find. There are people who do hate no matter what you do, no matter what you say. But at the end of the day, y'all not going nowhere, and we ain't going nowhere. So why we
Right.
gotta have a back and forth? But there's a lot of cool old heads out there. Trust and believe that every old head ain't hating, and every
Right.
young dude ain't disrespectful either. You know what
So
I'm
let me.
saying?
You told me about some experiences you had with some older females in regard to the dance and being rejected in the dance. Give us
Oh,
some
for sure.
insight on that.
Man, listen, you're gonna get rejected. You're gonna
Right.
rejection is because everybody don't want. We all deal with rejection, and being young, I get it. You younger, I might wanna, have too much energy on the spin. They might not want that. She might wanna, she might wanna be finessed a lot more. And
Right.
I'm so bucked up, but it come with good energy though. You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying? So
That
we all
enthusiasm.
it's that enthusiasm factor. So don't take my enthusiasm as disrespect. I'm just excited. I've been an
Man.
excited person since I was 5 years old. I've been running back and forth in and out the bedroom, in the kitchen, outside playing. So that's just something natural. We all deal with the rejection, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep coming back. You can't tell me no, because I'm a smile, and eventually you're gonna tell me yes. But we all deal with rejection. So, but when you come in I think a lot of times, like we go to places and you might like. I had the privilege and honor to go to the East of the Rhine. I didn't get no dances. I was new. I was kind of intimidated. Didn't nobody dance with me or any. It was this one lady. I can't think of her
Uh-huh.
name, and I'm gonna shout her out. Is it? Dang, why I can't think of her name? When Beauty took me to the East of the Rhine, she danced with me. But people just didn't know. They sit and watch you. They not really open to dancing with somebody they don't know. But once they see you out there, you know what you're doing, and they know that you can, you know, handle the woman on the dance floor, they'll be more open to it. But sometimes you just got to show, you know, who you are and what you can do, you
Right.
know, and not be afraid of somebody turning you down. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this: how do you feel about when you hear some of the older males, particularly, or older opinions in the dance about the way things are versus the way things were? Do you participate in those conversations, or what is your thoughts when you hear
I don't
stuff like
present
that?
because people's opinions are their opinion. You can't change nobody's opinion, especially if they've been
Right.
doing things. Older men, we are stubborn and we stuck in our ways. That's just how we're gonna be. When we
True.
believe something to be true, that's just what it is. So you're never gonna debate somebody's opinion because I respect your opinion, whether I agree with it or disagree with it. So I'm just like, it kind of it is what it is at this point. You know what I'm saying? I don't get into debating somebody's opinion because that's just how you feel. Back in the day, we used to do this, but I'm listening to a lot of older conversation, and what I'm getting is that bopping people bop before we step. Correct? Is this a true statement?
Yes.
And when the steppers came out, from my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong. When the steppers started stepping, the bopper generation didn't like that.
They didn't care for it much, but
I
and it
didn't
was
care
only
for it.
what it was. You see, this is one of those things historically that a lot of people don't know. You know, like so. What happened was you had your boppers. The most of the steppers were teenagers. They
Okay.
can't. They were young. They were very young, and a lot of them were gangbangers. Most of them. Okay, it was
Hmm.
that. It was that type of an environment,
Hmm.
and the bop generation was older. So as
Okay.
the two began to separate more or less, look, Reggie Miles say not true. Reggie, here we go. So the two began to separate in that way. A lot of the younger generation who were steppers, the teens,
Yeah.
the Reggie Miles say bopping and stepping is the same dance. Yes, it is, Reggie. We're not refuting that. What happened was as they began to step and add variations to the dance that involved a lot of footwork versus just the basic what would be considered the foundation of the bop. It went to a competitive type of thing where they did a where they started doing the man on man thing. And as Reggie Miles likes to refer to it as two tracks. They were over there bopping, these guys were over here stepping. And the phrase got coined by Sam Chapman. And I'm basically giving you the paraphrase version. Look, he's steady.
Hmm.
He's going off over here. Not true,
Oh
Forbes.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, Reggie. Anyway, these guys. So as they began to see this, here's an example of what we talking about right here. Exactly.
There you go.
So
There you go.
you got people who were on one track, and then you got people who was on another track, and one had nothing to do with the other because as the in the steppers community it was comprised mostly of what was considered underground activity. Most of the steppers
Mm.
weren't involved in the bop crowd like that because the boppers were the ones who taught the steppers the bop to begin with, which is where the stepping came from. Okay,
Hmm.
and the way I don't want to call it a division or the way it was set aside or parted, but there were you had two different things going on at that point. Kind of like
Hmm.
how right now today we're going through this thing with new school and so-called old school. Okay,
Okay.
see a lot of people don't know that the only reason we have a what's called new school and old school is because it was mainly named in order that people be able to compete for competitions more or less.
Okay. Okay.
So what happened was once that those terms came to be, it gave people a way to refer to people doing the eight count and people doing what we would consider original. Now,
Okay.
I believe it was Reggie Miles who coined the phrase legacy steppers. Now, myself, and most of the people in my age group, I would say about 55 and up, mostly got our dance from, and those are for the ones who were stepping back that time, because you still got a lot of newer steppers that are in that age group. Most of us got our dance from somebody in our family usually, or somebody in the neighborhood or something like that. We were taught by a parent, a grandparent, a cousin, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was before they had any kind of a process for people to actually learn it and take a class and that kind of thing. Were no classes. Your
Right.
class was you standing over there and watch until
Right.
you figured it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, or somebody touched your hand and got it in with you. Now, moving forward, we had, and this is like where I'm going with this is this. Now we have with y'all's generation where all of the turns and the combinations and all the different things that are included in the dance were not included during that
Originally.
time. Because like you just said, you have, you came with your enthusiasm, you know what I'm saying? And women be like, maybe it's a little too much energy.
Yeah.
When I've started stepping, I had very similar experiences. Like I would be in there was an old club back in the day called The Other Place on 75th and King Drive. And that was one of my favorite places. But I was younger and the women in there were much older. And one thing they would tell you, and they would look at me because I was young and say, okay, don't turn me. No
Yeah. Yeah.
turns.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was my experience similar to yours, and it taught me about footwork. It taught me about making sure that I had my game on point where I could dance without
Yes.
doing a whole bunch of spinning her all over the room and all of that. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't going. Plus, these older women ain't going anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but
Um,
Brian,
go ahead.
it's a lane for everything. It's a lane for that. And
Oh yeah. Well,
sometimes
see
when I get on
now,
the dance
now it
floor,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Like sometimes I don't want to spin. I might want to be like what was that song came on in Virginia? Olivia about
Mm-hmm.
was it the Whispers? I was just
Um,
wanted to be real cool,
right.
real relaxed. I didn't want to do no turning. The lady I was dancing with, she had her shoulders out. She had a long gown on. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't gonna be none of that. It wasn't gonna be all that
Right.
turning. But I think certain songs I like to spin around and do all that. So
Right.
it's a time and a place for everything. And to
Exactly.
be honest with you, it's cool to have different styles and variations. Who wants to be a robot?
I agree. Now you're 100% right in that, and that's where, to me, where the gap bridging becomes necessary, because rather than because one person doesn't do it, doesn't mean that they got to point a finger at the other who does. But
Right.
the only caveat to that is that you have people who don't consider the spins and all of the turns as stepping. See, this
Okay.
is where we get into the labeling area of the dance, where people start to. You got people who will say, "Well, that ain't stepping." This guy just standing in one place and spinning her all over the place. That ain't stepping.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
and I am of that school, sorta. On the other hand, a complete dancer has the ability to do that, to
Hmm.
also use footwork when necessary and do
Hmm.
everything in between. Some
Right.
people prefer one side or the other of the fence. Now,
Hmm.
my thing has always been, if we're gonna start criticizing one area of the dance or the other, the same way the phrase was coined, stepping versus
Hmm.
the bop by Sam Chapman,
Hmm.
then should we not coin a phrase that goes with what they're doing now in regard to all the spins and extra turns? Because it is a different variation of
What we
what was
doing?
considered stepping.
So what would be the coin?
And that's the $1 million question. And the fact, and not only that, who would be the one that would be in enough authority to even coin it? See, we're dealing with a dance that has been all over the place for so long that, and then not only that, you have an older generation, even older than myself, who are at a place where they, and this is just a thing that I deal with as a part of Steppin Media, which you're now a part of, by the way, where they
Yeah.
will complain about some of the behaviors and some of the things that go on in the dance,
Yeah.
but they won't step up and say
Bring
something.
solutions. Yeah, see, that's my thing.
Exactly.
Anything that I talk about or have a complaint about, I was always taught that you have to bring a solution to that.
Absolutely.
Complaining about something will not bring no solution. And And I like hearing you say that. Like, who would be the one? Who would be the authoritative figure to come about to make that change or make that implementation? Like, it's all about structure. If you don't
Nowadays
have
we
your
got
house
so many chiefs, ain't no
and
Indians left.
ain't no Indians,
So
no
it wouldn't
structure, no none of that. It's a free
exactly
for all, right?
pretty much. And
Free.
I hate to say that because it's really, it kind of get a game of black eye a little bit. On the other hand, I would really love to just see people be able to dance
Yeah.
without all of the extra, because when you go to Chicago to dance, and this is something for my audience who has never been, and for those who are not aware, when you go to Chicago and you dance, nobody's watching you, not like that. Nobody really cares. People at home, they just dance, which is what it's always been. And people weren't pointing fingers saying, "Oh, that's wrong," and that person is that he can't dance. We just didn't have all of that. A lot of that, what you see when you hear those type of things, is from outside the city most of the time. Now
You know
it's
what?
getting
I might.
it's starting to seep into the city though now, but it was a time, bro. You just dance. That was it. Just dance and have a good time.
Right, I
Now
feel you
tell
on
me
that,
what your
but
experiences are.
my experience in with stepping, I feel like everybody's watching. I feel like, especially in
Of course
Chicago,
you do.
I feel I feel like they are watching you. I feel like Chicago, and I could be wrong, and it's only my personal experience. I feel like there is a grit to Chicago, a respect level in Chicago. You have to respect the dance. It's political. It's 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 more structure. It's like I like to say, my uncles are Muslim and my mother is Christian. I had best of both. My father was the
Got you.
the structure. Hey, man, need to do this. You need to do that. My mom was that love everybody. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's the type of vibe. Sometimes, like when you go to Chicago, it's kind of like, all right, you need to be this. You need to be here. It's not a lot of room on here. Now, when you go to a place like Atlanta or Cleveland, it's just like, hey, we just having fun.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. So for me, going to dancing in certain places, it's just like, man, all right, when I go to Chicago, I'm a little more tense. I need to be. I know that they are more like, hey, this our baby. You gotta
Yeah.
respect it. Is hey, don't dance with my girl too many times. I'm over here watching you. Hey,
That's
hey,
funny.
hey, calm down. So I feel like in Chicago it's a lot different because, hey, we Chicago and you have to respect it.
Right.
Um,
Well,
and
it's
that's a little
ingrained
more
in the
free.
society though. It's part of the fabric of the society. It's not
Yeah,
something that and people take it seriously, and they always have, and
very,
that's
very.
and but you get people outside the city, and this is where a lot of the some of the growing pains come in. You get outside the city, and you have people who have this sort of treated like a line dance kind of thing, and that right there ain't cool. I've had a lot of people who have finally made it to Chicago, and if I had a quarter for every time, they'd be like, man, it just changed my whole dance, changed my whole life, because
Hey,
they see
dude,
something completely different.
man, I see them guys dancing. They got a different vibe. They got a different step. It's to be respected, and it's to like I love going to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I love seeing the men dance. I love seeing the women dance. And like anything that you do, you're gonna have ups and you're gonna have downs. You're gonna have goods and you're gonna have bad. You just take the bitter with the sweet. You take the meat, spit out the bones, and
Nah.
then you go about your way.
Sam, somebody on the live said, Sean said, hey, Sam Long, your energy is a vibe. See, you got that energy,
Oh,
bro.
come on, Shine. That's my homie right there.
you got that energy, bro. He's right. I mean,
Yeah,
and I agree,
yeah,
and because I
yeah.
love your enthusiasm, bro, for the dance.
Uh,
I ain't seen nothing like it in a long time, and every time I see you, you got that same, that's a hell of a thing.
man, listen, when I come in the room, if we having a good time, I feel like the light is on you. The light is
Yeah,
within you. And you know what I'm saying? So when we come in that room, we here to have a good time. I'm here to dance with them
that's what
ladies,
it's supposed to
spin
be.
them around a little bit. We're gonna talk a little smack, and then we're gonna go back to our jobs.
There you go.
That's it.
If Sam, only if everybody had that same idea. If everybody who came out to dance felt just like that, bruh, we would have a community so tight and so strong it would be unreal.
Yeah, yeah. But
You
you know
know?
what? The love is there though. Sometimes I can
It
see
is.
the love. I can see like when I come into the room. Sometimes the women be sitting there and they don't be having nobody to dance with. It's like 50 women and one man,
Yeah.
and You know, sometimes when I sit back and I talk to people from Detroit and I talk to people from Chicago, they be, you know, man, you get to know these people, man. They some loving people. You know, sometimes, you know,
Absolutely.
we as a people have been hurt so much that we got so much pain and trauma. We just don't really, we got to put up a shell between one another, and we don't know how to embrace each other or say, I'm dealing with something at home or I'm mad. And sometimes it spills over into our personality, and then we get all down, you know?
Yeah, and that's a
Yeah.
societal thing. In fact,
It's a
I
societal
talk
thing.
about that all the time, specifically because I have told people, and I'll continue to tell people on this show, and to push that idea that we need to embrace one another because you just don't know what a person is going through. You know,
You
people
don't know.
have
You
all
don't know.
kinds of issues outside of this dance, and they just don't know, you know, what else to do. And this dance is a release, and the last thing they need is to be chastised or felt to, or made to be felt, you know, that they don't fit in or something inside this community.
Hmm.
One of the listeners wants to know, how do you feel about the older music versus the newer music, and which one do you prefer?
I like both of them. I like, it depends on my mood. You need old music. You need the older. You need to hear the drums. You need to hear the lyrics. But I'm gonna go deeper, right? Because I'm the type of, I'm a, like, I think a little bit, right? So new music, of course, is more, you know, digital. It don't have all the
Right.
horns and everything. And sometimes, like rap music, if you talking about killing me, then taking my girlfriend, I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Right.
I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that, bro. But I do like to hear like Hurry Up This Way, right? Now
Yeah.
when I listen to Hurry Up This Way, he is singing. Now it's the old school, it sounds really good. He is singing about another man's wife. You know what I'm saying? He is mad that she is gone with her husband. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what was going on
But
back in
it's
the
a
day,
jam, though.
huh?
You dig? Well, you
But
got.
it's
Well, wait a minute
jamming.
now. You got that
What's
song
going
"Can't
on?
Wait." You got "Can't Wait." You know, well, old girl talking about. You know what I'm saying? He's married. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You,
You see
it's
what I'm saying?
that's new school though.
It's
See?
new school, so it's been going on. It's all like I like both of them. Like man, I like you need old school music. You got to slow the party down. You
Right.
got to slow it down, and you need some of them jams. But then I might want to listen to some Keith Sweat, some Jodeci, some Tevin Campbell. You need both of them. I don't want to jump up all down and raise
Yeah.
the roof and tear the club up all day. I don't want to be put to sleep either, though.
Right. Now,
You
that's
know,
that's true. Now, a lot of that is gonna be a lot of that is gonna weigh on the DJ because as a DJ myself, one thing that I need to that I have to remember myself is when I'm DJing in different parts of the country in different places, the music or what fits that environment and that vibe is often a little different sometimes. My style is a little bit of both. Only because usually, and I find that we have a lot of original steppers throughout the entire nation, so I
hmm
gotta address them because that's me. Then on the other hand, I like to drop some new stuff because it brings the beat up. It makes people really want to get out there and get their sweat on because I'm gonna make your feet hurt. That's what I do.
so I'm gonna ask you this question. So I'm throwing a party. Hey, Brian, could you DJ for me and my people?
You
Would
asking
you be able
me?
to do that? Yeah, if you was a DJ.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I
Okay.
got you.
Would you dance to some of the music yourself?
What I do? Listen. I'm not gonna play nothing I don't dance to.
Okay. Okay.
That's I mean me personally as a DJ, I'm not finna play nothing for y'all that I don't want to hear.
Okay.
Feel what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
personally think now, maybe I'm biased, but I personally think I got a pretty good ear for that. You
Yeah.
know,
But see, we can play. I can have a list of old school songs that I might want to get played, and maybe the old school they be like, "Nah, we ain't playing that." Like, you know
well,
what I'm
see,
saying?
when it comes to the music though, this is where you got to be careful at. Like I'll give you an example. There are certain songs that back in the day was heavy steppers cuts where now if you play it, people might be looking up at the DJ booth like, why you put that on? Because they don't, because the
Mhm.
vibe is different. Only because you're dealing with a people who are a staple. We rooted in this, man. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's in our blood. So
Right.
certain things just automatic and they compulsory to us. Where when you go somewhere else, that vibe just ain't the same. It's not the same. The roots don't fit. So you have to be able to accommodate that crowd. And any good DJ knows how to read his crowd. He knows
Yeah.
what gets them up out their
Yeah,
chair. That's the
because
thing.
what brings back nostalgia for you, it might bring like different, like,
Exactly.
so certain songs for you hit differently because you might have met your wife at this particular time. You might have
Absolutely.
had your girl. You might have had your first kid. And I remember with my kid, and I'll play this song, and oh, I love that song. So when that song come on, you connect it. So I feel like
Music,
we all, yeah, through the music.
music is the soundtrack of our life, bruh.
Yes.
There's certain songs that you hear that bring back memories from a particular time or a particular a place, and that sticks with you. Like most of the steppers that are older now, we remember certain songs coming up when we would be at a place and everybody was about to start getting it in, and certain songs just trigger you. Of course, that's not going to be the same for people coming up in the dance now.
No, and it's okay, and that's cool. Like for me, like if you play a Jodeci song, I'm looking in the crowd. I'm like, oh, who I'm gonna go dance. I'm like, oh, I think I like her. She got a nice dance. I've been wanting to dance with her. I'm gonna grab her hand and do my thing. But to an older person, they might not wanna like. I don't wanna
Well,
dance to Jodeci or something. You know?
let me tell you this though. I fault some of these instructors for not playing what should be part of their instruction in regard to the dance, the music that we came up on, to acclimate them to part of the history and culture in the dance, as well as giving them the steps. Because I feel like if they did that, it would make their dance that much better and that much easier for them to gravitate toward. See, if you give the complete package, then when they start to get around the rest of the culture, it's not so much of a shell shock. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, we learned that. That's
So
just,
I feel like I feel like in school we had music class, we had PE, we had drama, we had
okay.
social studies, we had math, and it was a time and a place for everything. I feel like it's a time for studies when learning in history and learning, being respectful. It's a time for etiquette, right? And it's a time like, but there's like who would be our teachers? Who would be our scholars? Who has a program and a curriculum to say, and I don't know, and I'm just asking, just in general, because there's a lot of this, like, who's going to write a book and say these are the rules and the regulations, this is our history, who's going to step up and
Well,
write this
that
book?
believe it or not, that's actually in the process. Believe it or not, that's actually
Okay.
something that's happening right now. I want to
Okay.
address something right here. I just got from one of the listeners, Summer Breezy Brown. She says, "I'm taking a trip to Chicago in a few months with a few friends. We're checking into having some private lessons with a female heavy hitter. She said to a friend, 'You all are coming from Cali, so I know you can't dance.' That was a big turnoff for me. I'll keep my coins in my purse. Your thoughts on her comment?"
See,
Let me
ooh,
say this. Let me say
why would
this
they
to
say
you.
that to him though?
Well, man, look, I've heard. Listen, bro, this is lightweight compared to some stuff I've heard before and seen. Summer Breezy Brown. Let me just give you some food for thought on that. No one has to insult you to teach you. You don't
Correct.
have to be torn down to be taught.
Right.
It is unfortunate that we have a lot of people in this community who, no matter what you do, they'll say you can't dance. We covered that a little earlier.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, they'll say you're not good enough. They'll tell you things. A
Exactly.
lot of that, and maybe somebody gonna get mad at me for saying this. I don't really care. But the fact is, a lot of instructors will tell you stuff to keep you paying them. Okay, they'll have you thinking that everything you're doing is wrong and destroy your confidence and so on. Be careful with that sort of thing. The other thing is this: just because a person has a reputation, everything ain't for everybody. Some people don't need to be instructed by certain other people. Personalities don't always gel. Sometimes people just don't go well together. And if you feel like that person's attitude is not something that is going to be conducive to your dance, definitely keep your coins in your pocket. Because
Yeah.
guess what? There are enough people in this country, around this country, who know how to dance and well, that will give you what you need in this dance and turn you out as a good dancer. The bottom line is they have to be able to leave something with you when they're gone. Because if they're not living in your city and they're not a reputable or a competent instructor, then you are going to be at a loss anyway. So it's important about who you decide to spend your money with. Now, don't get it twisted. There are people who are highly critical. There are those who are more rigid than others, and some of them are worth their money. They're worth the money, but they're few and far between. So you just got to be careful. All I can tell you is make sure their reputation is intact and do what you got to do. Whatever you feel is necessary for you to get what you need from them.
Yeah, I
So
like to say that it's
go
a
ahead.
thin line between corrective criticism and
Now,
disrespecting
yes,
somebody,
sir.
and you don't have to be mean nor malicious to somebody. Maybe that becomes, see, that's the thing about corrective criticism and hate. So, Brian, if I'm doing something wrong, you could be like, damn, Sam, you might want to do this left turn that way. So when you
Right.
come out of it, you'll look a little better. Then, boom, you'll be on key. But if you sit back, oh, man, your left turn ain't nothing. It ain't, man, it sound like hate. You know what I'm saying? It's the
Hey,
same thing, but it sound like hate.
well, let me say this right here about my California folks. I've danced with some California people, and I've seen my California people get down. And I'm gonna just say this: it's some good dancers out in Cali. So all that blanket statement about people from California, forget
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
fire.
I've seen.
That's messed
Listen,
up.
listen. I've been in these last 2 months. I've been to Vegas and Phoenix, and it been nothing but
Hmm.
California and Vegas and Arizona people there. And I'm gonna just tell you like this: I seen some fire dances. Okay,
There's some
so
good dancers across the world. It really is.
exactly,
It is.
yeah.
But keep it going. What's her name? Sunshine? What's her California?
Summer breezy. I had to go back and look.
Summer breeze. Summer breeze, baby.
Yes,
Keep that
sir.
summer breeze. You hear me? Keep that summer breeze and find you somebody that you ain't compatible with everybody.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
then it's just like in life. If they don't like you, man, go spend your dollar
That's
with
right.
somebody else.
Now, going back to Sheila White asked a question earlier. She wanted to know what was the average cost of a class in a private. Sheila, most people, when they go to these classes, nowadays, I think a regular class on a weekly basis is like, what, $15, $20? I think it is. Might be 10 depending on who it is and where you at. And then some of them, the privates, I've seen them range anywhere from $40 up to 75 or $100, just depending on who it is and what you're gonna get from them. But like I always say, have some idea of what this person is capable of giving you. But the very most important part of this entire equation is what is it that you need from that person? Because that is the better question. That's what you really need to be asking people when you go and give your money to them for a dance. Know what it is that you need from them so that you get that and not just whatever random thing they may give you. Because if it's something you already know, then what you spending your money on? So,
Well said.
um, so Sam, as far as now I want to get into your media side.
Uh-oh.
What
Let's
prompted
talk about
you?
it.
Yeah, what prompted you to decide to start doing this media thing, man?
Well,
You're
I've been
doing a
doing it.
great job, by the way. But go ahead.
Because I mean, y'all just seeing Mr. Red Carpet. I've been doing red carpet vibes. I got the name. I've been having the name for Mr. Red Carpet for like 5, 6 years now.
Okay.
When I first started stepping, my first event was the blackout event. I had bought my own red carpet, my
There
stallions,
you
and
go. There you go.
my first interview I interviewed Sean, Bandy, Lisa at the blackout.
Okay.
And like my first year, didn't nobody, I couldn't dance. I just had microphones. I'm a vibe. I talk to people. I figure like I live my life like a news reporter. I
There you
always
go.
have a camera. I'm always talking to people. I always want to hear your opinion. And that's just what I do. And then I just woke up and was like, man, you know what? Let me get back up my game. Let me start
That's
my
what's up.
YouTube. Let me get my Facebook. Because that's what I do in real life. I talk to people in real life. They just now seeing it on camera now because I put it out there,
Well, you
So,
you doing you doing a great job at it, brother. I'm enjoying watching you. I'm enjoying the vibe. I'm enjoying the people
oh
that
yeah.
you having on and the conversation.
Oh
So
yeah.
you doing a
Oh
good
yeah.
thing, man. There's plenty of room out here for all of us, man. So yeah,
We
you
all gonna
keep
eat,
you keep
We all gonna eat for it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We all
That's
gonna
right.
eat. We
That's
all gonna
right.
have fun. And we all got a lane.
Yep. Now there you go. Everybody got their lane. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, we all got a lane.
And that's the most important thing. Now, Lynette Butler on here said, now if you're not going to put in the work after the class or private, you're wasting your time. Lynette, I could not have put that any more clear and absolutely correct. That's something that
That's true.
everybody needs to remember because I've seen people who've taken classes and then complain about they didn't get nothing from it. Well, you didn't get nothing from it because you didn't do the work. Let's just
You
keep it
put the work
100.
in. You gotta put the
So
work in.
that I mean
That goes
that's an
without.
absolute
without
fact.
that's a fact.
If you got a doorknob, a chair, a refrigerator door handle, a kitchen counter, you need to be practicing.
Yeah,
Shopping
yeah.
cart, car
Shopping
door
cart,
handle,
bathroom, shower,
all of that.
all that. You better get it in.
That's right. Nah, and that's the
Hmm.
truth. It's all about how
Yeah.
bad you want it, baby.
It's all about you. It's all in you, man.
Bottom line. Listen, Sam, I ain't gonna keep you no longer, brother. I appreciate the hell out of you for coming in here.
It's all
Do you
love,
have
man.
anything, man, that you want to say? Because I think we got a lot of ground to cover. We've covered a lot of ground, but I think we got a lot of ground to cover in regard to bridging this gap, man, so that we don't have so much division in the community between the old, the young, the new school, the old school, and the music and all of that. I think we got room. We can make something out of this.
Yeah.
So
I'm about progressive talks, man. I talk to old heads all the time. And, it's all about just opening the door for communication, so we won't be so far away from each other and understanding one another. So yeah.
so
So.
do you have plans for upcoming world's largest? Yeah, yeah.
You know what I
Come
do, but
on, Sam.
to be honest with you, I've been working a lot. And you got to put that time. Like I seen
Absolutely.
Drew and them get on that stage, and you talking about. See, this is a competition. It's a sport. They coming to kill. If you
Yeah,
ain't willing to
absolutely.
dance 5, 6, 7 hours a day and get it in, I want to do it, but right now I think I'm about 3 years from competing because of the time and the dedication and the energy and
Let me say this to you. Never let what other people do discourage you from what you do. You're not First of all, you're not gonna make a fool out of yourself. You are that good of a dancer, number one. Number two, the more experience you have, the better opportunities you have in the future when you because you learn more. We can all sit back and look. Me myself, I can sit back and look at the dance all day and I can point this out and point that out. But the fact is when you're up there, it's a whole different ball game.
different
Now,
ball game.
I encourage you to do it again. I encourage you to compete. I mean, what do you have to lose? You don't have nothing to. You don't. All you got is something to gain, brother. Find you a good partner,
Mhm.
somebody to coach you on what you're doing a little bit if you need.
Mhm.
Get your dance on. Cause let me tell you, I'm gonna give you a little. I'm gonna give you a little morsel, a little food for
Okay.
thought, a little morsel of food for thought. When
Okay.
you talk to some of the old cats, the Kim Buoys and the old Josiah Burks and some of them other cats, they'll tell you when they did competitions back in the day, and it was $100 or $50 or whatever it was on the table, did nobody practice. They got up on the floor and got down.
Mm.
Period. Wasn't
Okay.
no. They'll tell you, oh, we didn't practice before no dance. We grabbed whoever we knew could dance, the next closest person to us. We cut it up. So I'm
Mhm.
telling you that in a
Okay.
nostalgic kind of way.
Okay.
Don't let, even though yes, this is a competition. Yes, they came to kill, but you know what? I love an underdog, brother.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So I'm encouraging you to push that envelope. You dig,
All right. All right. I'm gonna take that into consideration,
my
and I'm
man?
gonna receive. I'm gonna receive that.
I like that, my man. That's what's happening. Sam, I
Okay.
appreciate you,
Okay.
baby.
Man,
Thank you
thank you,
so
man.
much.
I
I
appreciate
look
you.
forward to us chopping it up again, man. You coming to Black and Bling,
Absolutely.
right?
I will be there.
I'll
Be there
see you
Friday.
there, my man.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, Sam. You have a great night,
All right.
man. Be careful out there.
All right. You too.
Peace. All right, y'all. That was my man Sam Long. Fantastic interview. And what can I say, man? This is the future. These are the guys that are coming. These are the guys that are changing the game. These are the guys that are going to take forward what we leave behind. So let me say this. As we go into the future of stepping, One, some of us older people, maybe we should be a little less rigid in our acceptance of the younger people that are coming and bringing new flavor, new energy to the game. Now, I'm not saying that anybody should be disrespectful of the past because the roots of this dance are critically important. The roots of this culture are critically important to our future. And I would love to see more people have the same attitude that Sam has, to be able to embrace and receive what the elder statesmen of the dance and stateswomen of the dance have to say in regard to how we can move forward, and nobody playing victim and nobody playing villain, because we can all benefit from it in major ways. We can all benefit from it socially. We can all uplift one another. We can help one another. And I would love to see that more than I would the battles that have gone on and that are going on within our community, because it's really unnecessary. But I do know that human nature dictates that individuals have their own ideas, their own agendas, and their own need to be seen or heard. However, there is room for everyone. And I don't see why anyone has to push someone else out of the way in order to be seen or heard. It's not necessary. I myself, as stepping media, as I would refer to myself being, embrace Sam Long in his newest endeavor, doing his interviews and being referred to as Mr. Red Carpet. There's room for everybody. He has a lane with what he does. The younger crowd gravitate toward him, and I like that. I want to see us all coexist within this dance and move forward into the future with a plan, in positivity and in love, and being able to embrace one another and help everybody become better. Not knock the next person because they didn't do a turn right, or say that this person can't dance because you don't care for their style. It's not up to us. As long as that person is enjoying themselves on that dance floor and they're able to do what the rest of us should be doing, which is to lose ourselves in the dance and in the time that we have in our 3 and 4 minute romances, then let it be what it is. And we'll all be better for it, y'all. So, my man Sam Long, my hats is off to that young brother. He been in the game 3 years and he is making major strides. And he's already been in one world's largest. Didn't make a bad showing. He's already making noise in the media around Steppin. The energy is incredible. We need more Sam Longs, y'all. And some of us could actually adopt Sam Long's energy into our own repertoire. I'm going to try. I'm going to just tell you like that because I'll never forget the day I met him. He had that very same energy, was excited. He was geeked up. That man was charged like nothing I ever seen before about Steppin. So if we could all tap in to Sam Long and get some of that energy he got going on, I say, damn it, get it. So ladies, if that man tap you and say, let's dance, I advise you to get your dance on with the brother. Because he's going to give you a good dance. If nothing else, you can get some of that, let some of that energy rub off on you. Touch his hands. Check my man out. You dig? So, with all of that said, y'all, I ain't going to drag it on tonight. We're going to let it go. But I want to thank everybody for coming and tuning in and checking out the show. And just so you know, we got a Sam Long in the game and we got others coming behind him just like it. So for those of us who have been in the game 30, 40, 50 years and our time's coming up, and it will, somebody has to take over the mantle. Somebody has to take over the reins. And it'll be the Sam Longs of the world. So we need to get ready for that. Let me see. Let me answer some of these comments right quick. Let's see. See Juan say that part. Got one down, 2 to go on Angie Fane Finney Steppin Weekend Set Videos. Great work inside Steppin. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. We trying to keep bringing the heat. We want to be able to make sure that everybody has an opportunity. If you can't make it to the dance, we still want you to be a part of it, because that helps to grow the culture. It helps to grow the community, and that's what we want to do. So let's keep that up. You know what I mean? Let's push that. Let's push that envelope, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I love you, and I'm going to embrace you all every opportunity that I get. If y'all run into me at a set and I don't run up and, hey, how you doing? Listen, charge it to my head and not to my heart. I am terrible with remembering shit when it comes to people. I'm not going to, that's why I don't get in no trouble, because that way I don't have to remember nobody whether I'm going to get my head busted or not, you dig? So, so all I'm saying is that I love y'all, man. When you see me out, come say hi, come holler at your boy. I'm wide open for it. I love y'all, man. Everybody have yourselves a wonderful night. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the share. Don't forget to hit the like. Everybody have a great night, and I will see y'all tomorrow on The Black Factor. And y'all have a fantastic evening. Peace out.